Hi, friends. Welcome to Race to Rise podcast, a place where we discuss bite sized wisdom nuggets with easy to follow practices to live a better life. I am your host, Mital Patel, a parenting junkie, Ayurveda enthusiast, and an advocate of conscious living. Does it ever happen to you that when your child is feeling anxious or when your child is feeling angry or, your child is feeling frustrated, you hop on the same train? I mean, it happens to me all the time. And I have learned to self-manage and self-regulate myself, but sometimes it's hard. It's hard when your child is feeling anxious and for you to not feel anxious at the same time. It's so hard because of the energy, the energy field that we're in. It's contagious, right? Whether it's good or bad emotions, the energy is contagious. And it's not true for everyone, though. It's not true for everyone. Some people have this, and I learned this from this modality called human design, and I'm going to share about this human design in future episodes of our podcast. But today I want to talk about what do you do when your child's big emotions are making you feel anxious. So when your child's anxiety is making you feel anxious, what do you do then? All right, so today I want to share these 9 reminders. I use these phrases all the time to remind myself. And today I want to share these 9 reminders, these 9 phrases for you to self-regulate yourself so you can bring your calm with your child and you can help your children process it. In the previous episode, we talked about how to identify the anxious behaviors and how to identify the symptoms and the signs in our children when they're feeling anxious and help our children identify instead of labeling them, help our children identify their emotions, acknowledge and validate, and then help them process these emotions. Before we even do that, we need to make sure that we are feeling and we're regulated, we're self-regulated, and we're feeling calm in order for us to help our children. But it's not easy. It is not easy when your child is feeling anxious and, you just stay it's not easy. It's so hard. And so today, some of the reminders that I tell myself and I remind myself, I'm going to share it. So without taking a further ado, let's dive into it. So very first reminder to myself, and I learned this from Dr. Becky at Good Inside, is this is hard. This feels hard because it is hard, right? So reminding myself that the situation to handle, it feels so hard because it is hard. And so when I tell myself that, I'm acknowledging and validating my own fears and my own big emotions. And it helps me calm down because, it's the self-validation. I know it's hard, right? Because it feels hard because it is hard. The second thing that I tell myself that this too shall pass. And I'm not talking, this is not like a toxic positivity. This is self-regulation. I am reminding myself that I have done this, I have handled these situations in the past and I can handle it again. So this too shall pass. Another thing I remind myself, number 3, I say to myself that I can cope with this, right? Reminding ourselves that we've done this before and we can do it again is so important. So yes, I can cope with this. I have tools. I have strategies. I have techniques that I have worked with. I can do this. My third reminder is I am my child's guide. This helps me remind myself that I don't need to control the behavior. I am the guide. I am not the owner. I'm not the taskmaster of my child. I don't have to tell him what to do, what not to do. I'm here to guide, right? I'm here to guide. And it's okay for me to not know what to do in this situation. So this always helps me remind myself that it's okay if I don't know how to do this. We're going to figure this out together. Number 4 is I say, my child is not giving me a hard time. My child is having a hard time. So important for us to remind ourselves that our child is struggling. They're not attacking us. They don't have any intention to attack us, or, there's no personal attack here. They're having a hard time. And so it's important for us to remind ourselves that this is about them. It's not about me. There's nothing to take personally. So how can we, so this helps us, again, acknowledge, validate, and move on. What's the next step? Number 5, I tell myself that it's okay to ask for help. I can lean on others for help. And so it's okay for me not to have all the answers. And so in the difficult situation, I always remind myself that it's okay for me to not know everything. I communicate with my son, and then I just reach out for help, right? It's okay for us to ask for help. Asking for help is a sign of strength. I'm strong. Number 6, I remind myself that I am doing the best I can in this moment with the resources that I have. When we remind ourselves that we are doing the best we can in the moment we have, or, with the resources we have, we remind ourselves that it's okay. When I know better, I do better. So I know better right now, I do better right now. I'm always doing better than what I did last time. And that's the whole thing. There is no competition, or there is no comparison with others. I don't have to compare what the other parent is doing, right? Because I am the expert of my family. I am I'm the only one who knows what's happening inside my body or inside my mind, right? So it's so important for us parents to remind ourselves that I'm doing the best I can in this moment. Number 7, I also remind myself that this anxiety, or, whatever emotions I'm feeling, is part of me. It's not all of me. And then I write it down. I journal it. What's happening? I ask myself, what's my anxiety trying to say to me, trying to tell me? What's this clue? I feel like I remind myself that my emotion is the clue. It's the clue that it's telling me what's happening inside my mind and inside my body. So ask yourself, what's this telling me? What's my emotion X is trying to say? What's my anxiety is trying to tell me? And my very last one, I kept it, another favorite of mine is, I am not alone. Again, remind yourself you're not alone. Ask for help. Reach out to your partner. Reach out to, your friends. Have that circle. There is a reason they say that it takes a village to raise a child. But also remind yourself that it takes a village to raise a parent. And so that's why, here's the thing that I wanted to share. I hope these phrases and these reminders you will give a try. This helps me. I hope they help you as well. Again, disclaimer, what helps me might not help you, but these are some of my tried and tested phrases and, things and affirmations to remind myself during the heat of the moment. And it always helps me self-regulate myself. And when I self-regulate myself, I can bring the regulation and my calm energy in, during the heat of the moment with my child, or during their anxious behaviors. And it also helps them co-regulate themselves. It also helps them, bring the calm to themselves. That's it for this week's episode of Race to Rise. Be sure to sign up to our email list at risewithmittal.com and join us again next time for more wisdom about life, kids, and everything in between. I am Mittal Patel, wishing you happy raising and rising.